Welcome back, riders. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hope y'all are having a great day. Hope you guys are always out riding, exploring. So here's a topic I've kind of seen in some of my comments and topics I've seen covered a little bit elsewhere on other channels. But I want to give my story real quick and opinions on why I chose this bike over all the other bikes that are out there. In particular, the DRZ 400 comes in different models. So here are my top reasons real quick of why I chose this bike over a DRZ 400. A little back history is I started off, my first bike was a Suzuki 50 my dad had bought me, and so I'm really kind of impartial to Suzuki. Even though you have Honda's, just bulletproof reliability, not saying that the 400 is not reliable, because it's been out for a very long time and it has proven to be very reliable. My top reasons though why I didn't buy the 400 Suzuki. First one is the price. I think Suzuki's website will probably tell you the MSRP on those bikes are, $69.99 or $7,300 depending on where you live. And that's before you get your tax tag, your title, and all the dealer fees that the dealers try to charge you, plus the already stated, $400-$600 on the website. So when you buy a brand new DRZ 400, because that's what I was doing. I'm not talking about buying used bikes. I wanted to buy a brand new bike, guys. Out the door, that bike probably is close to $10,000. And there has been a lot of price gouging all over the country, whether it's motorcycles or cars, because of the supply and demand. The supply has been horrible because most of this, all of the stuff comes from everywhere else in the world. So COVID happened and it really put a mishap on it. It's getting better. So the price and it's outdated. If you were to line this bike up stock with a stock DRZ 400, you could probably have a little more fun off-road on the DRZ, and it would probably beat this thing in an outline race. It's really a powerful bike. It's great. The oil change intervals are okay. This bike has way better maintenance intervals. Was a big key thing. But just the outdatedness, the front forks, I didn't like how there was such an extension past the hub. There were just certain things I really didn't like about the bike, and really the biggest things was it's carbureted. It hasn't changed in 20 plus years. It was all analog gauges, the gauges that it did have, which is grandfathered in, is the only reason why they can still sell the bike. But we're not, it's not saying it's a bad bike, and not saying it's, nobody should buy the bike, because it is a great bike if you're not worried about these kind of features. Mine has ABS that I can turn on or off. I have everything I need basically on here besides a GPS. It tells me my fuel consumption, where's my gas, it tells me my average gas mileage, how much gas I've used throughout the whole bike. It tells me miles per hour, it has a tachometer, it tells me the time of day. It's got really, really great features on here. It tells me all of my gear indicator, has turn signal indicators, has a thermostat, and it's fuel injected. If you're a gearhead and you're cool with tearing the carb out of the bike and putting new jets in it or upgrading it, maybe a little simpler depending on who you're talking to. If you're a real avid explorer and you go all over the place and you go from high to low altitudes, you're going to have to deal with, you know, tuning your carburetor and adjusting it, you know, for the altitude if it's running poorly. And, you know, there's other things that turn me off from the DRZ. And the big brother of this bike, the 450, you know, the money, you know, the money for that bike was insane. I'm not trying to buy a track bike, you know, to work on all the time because it's cool to whip around, but I'm putting a lot of miles on this bike. I use it for I use it for everything, work, play, you know, anytime I can ride this bike, I'm riding it. So those are the big things of what turned me off of the DRZ 400. You know, when people talk about how horrible the suspension is here on this bike, and yeah, I mean it's pretty rough. Is it rideable? Heck yeah. Can you have fun on it? Absolutely. And so the price, the features on the machines, and for what you spend on a new DRZ and a new 300, you could do the suspension on this bike and still spend and still have less money in it and have a phenomenal suspension setup. Now, the big brother version of this bike, the 450 RL, great bike. You know, you're lucky to get 25,000 miles out of it before you have to, you know, do a freshen up on the engine. But maintenance intervals are horrible. The prices on them are horrible. You can find them used, maybe under 10,000 miles on the bike for like 9,000, 8,000 if they're in good shape. But brand new, again, $13,000, $14,000 out the door. You know, 12,000, 13,000 depending on where you're at. And so this bike, there's tons of videos. Jake the Garden Snake, I'm giving him a shout out, guys. If you haven't seen him, I'm sure you probably have. He's doing a lot of stuff to his 300L. And so if I was going to fork out the $14,000 when I bought this bike, I would have somehow gotten my hands on probably a Tanneray 700. I danced around hours before buying this on a CB500X that had literally just came in off the crate with this thing. And I really would like to ride a CB500X. So if anybody in the area, you know, northwestern Florida, and we're going to go do a day ride, you know, give me a shout out and I'll let you ride this thing. And I'd love to ride a CB500X. That'd be really, really cool just to see how it rides and performs and stuff. But I still think this would be a little funner on the single track and all the tight stuff we do out here on Eglin Air Force Base or Blackwater River or Washington County. We go out there. We're going to be taking this on up in Tennessee, so I just think I'm going to have a little more fun and a little less stalling and flaming out on this versus a CB500X. But anybody got one, you know, leave a comment in the box down there and tell me how you like it, and you know, where you've taken it and how you kind of ride it, you know, what you use it for. So sorry guys, I appreciate you guys tuning in, taking a long video, but just wanted to share that with you guys. And if you have any opinions or comments, you know, shoot it down there in the comment box. Hit that like, share, subscribe button for me, guys. Help me grow the channel. Y'all have a great day. Have a safe ride.